The Gina and Maddie podcast.
I thought I'd just share with you guys, parenting, it can be tough. Gina Jeffries.
It's the toughest job in the world.
It is the hardest job in the world, but also the most rewarding.
Yes, exactly.
In my house, I'm not always the most popular guy because, you know what, kids just love having meltdowns and blaming mum or dad for it. So I thought I'd just run you through some of the things that have happened this week in my house that have made my children hate me. Let's kick it. This week, I wouldn't let 5-year-old Stevie eat dinner wrapped in her doona.
You mean parent.
She wouldn't put a jumper on. She was cold. I was like, darling, just put a jumper on. She's like, no, I want to eat dinner with my doona wrapped around me. I was like, you can't because we actually were having spaghetti bolognese, funnily enough. And you're going to get it all over your doona. Please put a jumper on. No, I don't want to put a jumper on. I want to have my... And that went on for about half an hour. Okay. Why else? Because I asked the 7-year-old to have a shower last night. Oh, my God! I put chicken on top of the rice, not next to the rice. Oh! I didn't stop the 5-year-old from looking at the 7-year-old, who was apparently breathing weird. I wouldn't let the 9-year-old stay up until 10 o'clock on a school night. Oh, my God, the worst dad in the world! And this is my favourite. From this week, I am not going to name the child, but someone dropped a booger that they picked on the driveway and then couldn't find it. That was my fault. God, I love being a dad. We all know Susie Thompson in the newsroom. Sue's fantastic journalist.
I love Suze.
Like, if you looked up, like, what the meaning of finger on the pulse is, you'd find a photo of Susie Thompson. Because she's...
With her finger on
a pulse of the news. It's like the heartbeat of this station.
Yeah,
but sometimes there is some news that Suze doesn't use. So that's what I like to do sometimes at 6:10. It's the news that Suze didn't use. This could possibly be one of my favourite things that's happened this year so far. A 24-hour news program in Mexico was covering the eclipse when 3 of its anchors were presenting, like, I don't know, you watch Sunrise or Today Show. Don't, because listen to us instead. But sometimes people send in photos of the sunrise. And they'll show, oh, this one's from Gary from Sumsby, and this is the photo that they sent. Right? And then they show it. So that's the kind of thing they were doing with the eclipse that was happening the other night, right?
Yeah.
So they were getting viewers to submit their videos of them looking at the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Always dangerous when you're asking for people to send in videos. Yeah. Anyway, so as the male host was listing the cities where the eclipse could be enjoyed, they started rolling footage that people had sent in. There were some great shots of the eclipse, which looked incredible. And then they showed this one. And I showed you ladies just before we went to air today.
Well, we can't unsee it.
I wasn't ready.
So you could see... You could see this small, bright light, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, down drops a couple of plums. A couple of hairy plums.
I was just there with a few errant hairs catching the light.
And it took them all of about maybe 2.5, 3 seconds of having a couple of nuts on the screen for them to go, oh, no! That's not a total eclipse, that's a total balls on. I like this one. This is some good news for athletes who don't get so good.
Balls down.
Balls down. Oh, not a balls up, balls down. Yeah. Track and field will be the first sport to introduce prize money at the Olympics, which I kind of like because it's a double-edged sword because the Olympics are meant to be for amateur athletes and, you know, people that aren't professionals in almost, right?
Oh,
but
I did not know
so,
that.
You know, you don't get paid. So you don't get paid. That's the when you play soccer at the Olympics, it's not the top teams. It's always the under-19s, under the 21s. It's
we didn't know that, did we?
So you don't get paid. You don't get paid to go to the Olympics. You know, the athletes have always got to look for sponsorships to be able to, continue their training. Anyway, so track and field will be the first sport to introduce prize money at the Olympics, saying it's going to pay $50,000 to gold medalists in Paris. So, and it's not like, I kind of like it. Because they're getting rewarded. You've got rugby league players who get $900,000 a year for 6 months of the year. But they train 3 years just for this one event. They put
Yeah.
their life and their body on the line. They get the gold, they're going to get $50,000.
Is this every country?
Every country, anyone who wins gold.
'Cause aren't there-
But it's only in athletics because athletics are funding it and they're using it from some of the money that they get through IOC distributors and World Athletics sponsors and things like that. So they're looking at giving money to bronze and silver medalists in the LA Games in 2028, and hopefully that'll spread right through.
Great.
The head of the Olympics was saying you can't put a money value on winning gold at the Olympics, but they want to start trying to.
Yeah.
Just go, you
Yeah.
know what? You are the best in the world at this.
Yes.
You deserve something.
Do you
other
think
than
that
just a
there
medal.
are some countries that have already been doing that? Oh, you know,
I
as
know
incentive?
Australia do. I know
Yeah.
that Australia, if you win a gold medal, there are
Yeah.
like the AOC will give you money
Yeah.
for winning gold. But I think as a whole, the Olympics has never given the money for it. So
Yeah.
I've never learnt so much in one story.
Yeah. And aren't there some countries, if they don't win it?
yeah.
Ouch!
You never want to lose a World Cup playing for Brazil, that's for sure. All right, I got one more. If you learned something there, strap yourself in. Have
You said the best to last.
Well, I think I went early with the best one. Can't beat balls in front of a light. Have you heard about the one about a horse and a train station? Well, it might seem like a tall tale, but it actually happened in Sydney's southwest. Just before midnight, CCTV footage captured a horse just casually trotting onto the platform at Warwick Farm train station, escaping a massive downpour. So there's one of the state's biggest horse racing tracks there at Warwick
Yeah,
Farm. They race
yeah.
all the time. The stables are there. Horses obviously got out, which is a bit of a safety concern, but it's just...
It just wants to get out of the rain.
And you can just see it walking down the platform. Clop, 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 clop. I want to know how it got in. Does that horse have an Opal card? Like, that's what I want to know, because there are some big issues. But, hey, I don't know. Maybe it was just trying to get to Haymarket. Oh, no.
Yep.
No, I should have stopped with the Opal card.
The Gina and Maddie Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.